All right, Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High and His only begotten Son, who we know and believe as Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ravakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the great millstone that taught me His truth and that rule well. Peace, love, and blessings to you, Akim, out there pushing His truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. And also blessings to you few sisters out there listening and learning. Okay, and I would like to thank Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me and giving me the spirit to do another lesson to hopefully edify the elect. And this is another video here from the brother, I would call him a brother, measures out of time diligently. The brother stay putting up videos that have to do with prophecy. So anytime I see one, I just hop right on it and filter it through the scriptures. All right, the Lord has blessed me with the knowledge to understand the times, like He has done our elders on down, which has taught me and many other brothers like me. So I can't neglect this gift. The scriptures speak about pretty much the greatest gift is to prophesy, rather that you may prophesy. So neglect not the gift that is within thee. So without further ado, I'm going to let this video play, and it says Iran issues a warrant. It's like Iran issues arrest warrant for Trump over the killing of Soleimani. And remember, this happened beginning of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. It happened January 1st, 2020. All right, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's when this thing took place. So now 6 months later, Iran is issuing an arrest warrant for Trump. You know, that's heavy. That's something never seen before. All right, these little smaller countries are standing up to America. All right, so this is unprecedented times that we're living in. We truly are in the end times, and this truly is the end of the end. Okay.
Iran has issued an arrest warrant for US President Donald Trump over the drone killing of the country's powerful top general in January. The Tehran prosecutor is quoted by a state-run news agency saying that Trump and 35 others face murder and terrorism charges over the death of Qasem Soleimani, who was in charge of the Revolutionary Guard's elite Quds force. Iran wants Interpol's help to detain Trump by issuing a red notice, which is Interpol's highest-level request for making an arrest. Following Soleimani's killing, the Iranian parliament unanimously voted to designate the US Army and the Pentagon as terrorist organizations. Let's get some reaction now from Tehran and go live to Iranian political analyst Syed Mustafa Koscheshan. Syed, welcome. Interpol is unlikely to grant Iran's request because of what they will see as its political nature. So what is Iran's aim here?
Well, first of all, let's remember that the United States senior officials have acknowledged their direct role in assassinating Qasem Soleimani, and the history is filled with similar cases in the past, like in the 1990s when the Amia Jewish Center was exploded in Argentina. The Argentinian court, under pressure by the United States, as well as due to the material witness that was introduced by the United States, issued accusations against Hezbollah of Lebanon, and they blamed Iran for sponsoring Hezbollah. So they issued, alerts for Iranian officials, including late President Hashemi Rafsanjani. And the Interpol cooperated with them somehow. In similar cases in the past, like when George W. Bush was alerted by the Swedish or Swiss officials to avoid going there for unveiling his book after a court ruling for his role in murdering people in this region, in Iraq and Afghanistan. He avoided traveling there. Iran has not done anything basically strange. They have admitted their role in the assassination, and basically it's widely believed that this would work once senior U.S. officials step down and come to the end of their term, including President Trump. But basically, I'm very much interested to see what happens when senior U.S. officials travel to Iraq, where Iran has much influence and it has so many allies in the armed forces, and they would easily go for arresting any of the senior U.S. officials that has come under persecution by Iran.
So,
and I'm waiting to
just
see
on
the
that
result
point,
there.
because it is nearly 6 months, isn't it, since Soleimani was actually killed. Your thoughts on why Iran is issuing this audacious move now?
Well, they are working on various moves and plans and scenarios. This is just the start. Iran has also taken action to persecute U.S. officials for this assassination and terrorist action through international courts. They have filed a complaint at the ICC and elsewhere, and they are doing whatever they could in order to, persecute U.S. officials and play much pressure on them. Also, as we are approaching the presidential election in the United States, Iran is no shy of taking any kind of measure to put increasing pressure on Donald Trump to, lower his chances, most probably, in the election.
Has the U.S. actually suffered any tangible repercussions for killing the general? We know, Syed, that neighboring Iraq voted to expel U.S. troops, but hasn't yet done so. It begs the question, what can Iran realistically do here?
Well, to begin with, in addition to these litigations, let's remember that Iran launched an unprecedented missile attack on their strategic airbase in Iraq at Ain al-Assad. But Iran has always said that this is just the beginning. General Soleimani was much loved in here, and he was a character that was worth much more than, a tit-for-tat action. Even if so many top U.S. generals and administration officials are handcuffed by Iran and imprisoned, it's still not worth even one drop of Qasem Soleimani for the Iranians. He was a key commander and a leader in this region. So, all
right, Salaki about that. I had to pause the video for a sec. Got a call, so may have to end up editing this video. So keep it playing.
In this region. So basically Iran has stressed that it would like, and it will, and it's doing whatever it can in order to expel the U.S. forces from this region. And of course, this is going to be a very tough job and task. And it's going to begin with Iraq. Either the United States want it or not, the Iraqis do not want to see their land to become a place for, foreign, foreign rows or quarrels or battles. So the Iraqis are very much interested and very much resolved to fire the United States Army from their own country.
Live reaction from Tehran with Syed Mustafa.
So that's pretty much it on that. As you can see, Iran and Iraq is with Iran. All right, and that's biblical prophecy right there. Because Iraq, of course, the U.S. invaded Iraq. Whole 9/11, false flag. The U.S. invaded Iraq. So there's military bases in Iraq. All right, Iraq has been compromised. So with that being said, there's military base. Once America compromises a nation, there's a military presence that they occupy there. So Iraq is saying now, we with Iran, we're going to pretty much cause, we're going to get them out of our country. They can't be in Iraq no more. Because why? Because Iran and Iraq are working together. So this is biblical prophecy. Get right to the scripts. Salakia for taking too long, but this is 2nd Ezra 15 verse 28, and it reads, it says, "Behold, in horrible vision and appearance thereof from the east," because this is taking place in the Middle East, right, which is the same region or area, so to say, that the Third World War will pop off. Verse 29 says, "Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. And that's talking about those Arab nations, all right, those Middle Eastern nations, those which go back to Ishmael, all right, descendants of Ishmael. It says, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. All right. Verse 30, it says, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as wild boars of the wood. So the Carmanians would be the Iranians, the Arabians, in this particular setting, this video, would be the Iraq. So Iraq and Iran, okay. I'm just, like I say, that's all the other so-called Middle Eastern countries, you know, as well. But for this exact video, Arabia would be Iraq and Carmanians would be Iran. It says, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Syrians. Alright? And the Syrians today will be what you know as America. America will be the Syrians. It says, and then shall the dragons have their upper hand, remembering their nature. And if you go back to the precept of that is in the book of Genesis, where it states, Ishmael shall be a wild man, his hand shall be upon all his neighbors. Okay, that's remembering their nature. Alright, it says he shall dwell amongst their brothers. Matter of fact, I'll get that real quick. Alright, this is Genesis 16:11. It says, and the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael. Ishmael is one of the sons of Abraham. It's the descendants of those Arabs. Alright, it says, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And a lot of Arabs have knowledge that they are descendants from Ishmael. Okay, verse 12. And that's why they have the same similar customs as the Hebrews, or the Jews, so to say. Beards, and their women being covered up, you know, just to scratch the surface. Verse 12, it says, and he will be a wild man. Okay, so remembering their nature, and his hand will be against every man. Alright, and that's the prophecy being fulfilled, because, you know, the face of terrorism, the current face of terrorism, they're trying to turn it now to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, but the previous face of terrorism was Ishmael, Arabs. Okay, so everybody, everywhere they went, you know, especially in airports, you know, it was very uneasy. I'm pretty sure it's very, very uneasy for them during the time of 2001, 2002, you know, because the false flag that took place. So his hand shall be against every man. So every man was against the so-called Arabs. It says, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And that's over there in the Middle East, all them Arab countries. Okay, so let's go back to I believe it was 2nd Ezra 15, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yep, so 2nd Ezra 15:30 says, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join the battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Syrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So they're going to come together. And you see this happening right now. Iran is coming together with Iraq. Pretty much, if Iraq wants the U.S. military out of their country, and also too, if any of those U.S. officials was to pretty much be present in Iraq, Iraq would attempt to arrest them. All right, all those generals that had pretty much dealings or relations with the killing of Soleimani, you know, they would be arrested if they were found in Iraq, because Iran has issued pretty much an arrest warrant, a warrant for the arrest of Donald Trump and all the U.S. officials that was involved with the killing of Soleimani. And that's a big statement, man. So prophecy is being fulfilled. You know, we are clearly at the end. This is a third World War brewing. And I'm gonna close out with this last verse, Matthew 24:33. It says, so likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Okay, because at the same time, this third world war is brewing drastically, man. All right, the same things taking place over here in Salakia. I'm outside. You know, and the Lord is going to destroy people like that, man. Here it is, things are popping off, and man, that I don't even want to get on that topic. But anyways, made me lose my train of thought. But yeah, as this third world war is popping off, okay, you have the tensions over here in America, Esau, Edom, and this new world order. So all things, we're reaching the climax, man. Things are gonna start moving fast, and things are gonna get explosive in the next few months. All right, we believe, you know, with these elections coming up and so on and so forth, things are getting hot, man. You know, things could pop off in the next 3 months or the next weeks. You know, all hell can break loose. So just continue to watch, continue to pray, continue to seek Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And with that, until next time, we're going to say a shalom.